Welcome, everyone, to our latest Founder Spotlight series. This series highlights founders from across our programs who've reached the $1 million milestone goal as we celebrate their journey and share their lessons to other founders or maybe aspiring entrepreneurs. Stitch Crew's mission is to help entrepreneurs grow and scale to the $1 million milestone because less than 5% of businesses in the US ever get there.
In this interview for our $1 million milestone series, we got to talk to Pilar Esparza, one of the founders of Taco Empire, and she was a participant in our OKC Latino Accelerator. What stood out to me about Pilar is she was so engaged in the accelerator. I remember her mentioning, like, she really didn't care about the grant that was attached. Like, she loved getting to know other members in the community that are business owners. And she always brought her notebook, she always brought her pen, and she was ready to take notes and just ready to learn. And they were already doing really well too. I remember when they were in the accelerator, and she was just still reaching for more and still wanting to gain more knowledge and resources. And I just admire her and Carlos so much. And it's the way that they both have turned their vision into a business that supports their team and community. I feel very grateful that we got to have them participate.
Totally agree. Loved having her as part of the program. And I think that their work at Taco Empire is really proof that with determination and resourcefulness and really the right support, businesses can grow into a recognized brand and hit that $1 million milestone. Pilar shared in our interview just some candid stories about maybe the early struggles, the chaos of starting out. She shared about how her family recipes really inspired, both from both sides, really inspired their brand today. And really how their values have continued to shape their brand and their story and the way that they move forward, as well as what hitting this $1 million means beyond the numbers, right? The milestone itself is impressive, but what they've been able to accomplish and do with that and alongside their team, I think is what really stands out.
We are so excited to share Pilar's story with you. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a food lover, or just somebody who loves seeing businesses with a heart grow, this one is for you. Let's jump in the conversation. First, let's just start with kind of the early beginning. Tell us about those early days, like what your setup was like and what you remember most about those early days and those very first customers.
I'm not gonna say it was a mess because we had an idea of what we needed to do to make it work. But there was a lot of unorganization in many aspects. Over the time, we kind of realized, okay, so we need to get better at this. We need to change this. We need to modify this. And everything came up at the end the way it's supposed to be. Whenever we started with the food truck, we were looking for a parking spot and we found a place that we might liked. We talked to the landlord. He agreed to rent that space for us. So we parked over there. At the beginning, there wasn't a lot of movement, but over the time, it kind of people stopping by and people seeing, and then help from friends and family promoting the business. That helped a lot.
You mentioned you both come from a history of, restaurateurs, and I think you had mentioned before that some of the recipes are even from your partner's family. So I'd love to know just kind of where the idea kind of began and if you always kind of thought you would go into this business or if this was just something that just kind of happened.
Yeah, it's funny because every time I get asked that, I'm like, no, I come from I'm the third generation of restaurant owners. And because of that, I was trying to run away from it because the business is very tough. And I knew it. We had a good childhood, but most of my days, I remember we work every single weekend, every holiday. So I kind of wanted to have a different life. But I mean, I guess it's what we knew. We thought about starting with the food truck because we weren't sure if it was if we had the experience enough to start doing something, if it was worth to spend that much money into a place, if all of those things that you never know if it's going to be a right decision or not. He came up with the idea of a food truck. The goal was always having a restaurant, but that was going to be our first step. And then I have this background, but he also comes from a family. His mom loves to cook. She's great at it. And he had that talent as well that we didn't know until he started cooking. And then he called his mom. She shared some of the recipes with him. He started doing everything on his own. Um, Even his mom and my mom, they both came from Mexico and stayed with us for a while we were like learning a few things from them. Um, and yeah, that's how some of our famous recipes are like come from our families, from his mom, from my mom, and also the ones that we look on our own. Some of the things that we serve is because that's the way we like to eat them. Like the shrimp tacos is the way I like to eat my shrimp tacos, and we just wanted to share a little bit of that.
Definitely understand the idea of like maybe running away from what your family was used to, but it ends up finding you anyway. I would love to know maybe what was one of the biggest challenges that maybe you didn't see coming, but also what was the best decision that you made in that first year?
One of the biggest challenges is that we were working, I will say him about 70 hours a week, 80 hours a week, and me, I don't know, probably about that much. Especially the family side came into my responsibility, take care of the kids and everything. It was just the two of us, and we were very busy. It was like, I mean, we knew our food was good, but that's what you think, right? Like, yeah, I cook great, but you don't think how good it is until you start getting like so busy with so many events, a lot of work all the time, and it was just the two of us and his sister, and then eventually we get another guy and then one more guy, but we knew this had the potential to grow, and it was ready to move into a brick and mortar. So probably that was the best decision we could make because it wasn't going to be sustainable if we continued to do what we were doing because it was just too much and we were not living a life. We were just living to work.
Yeah, that's a common thought, right? Is like I'll start a business because I want more time. And then in reality, like the business takes up,
Yeah,
especially those early days, like it takes up so much time to get it
yeah.
off the ground and to get those customers and to make all those decisions, like even headspace it takes up.
And I mean, just to add that, like I said, the best decision was to open the brick and mortar because that's just the first step. We can started to delegate a few things so we can start focusing on other things. It doesn't mean that they know how to do it and we don't take care of the recipes anymore. We're constantly checking on the flavor, on the quality, on every single aspect of of the business because it's what people knows us for and what we continue and want to continue to keep offering. So by delegating that, we started to work and then grow in other aspects, and that's what we are doing right now and what we will continue to do.
So started with the food truck. You're now in a, you still have the food truck and the brick and mortar, correct?
Hmm.
And I know
Yes.
you do a lot of events and stuff too, and work with a lot of partners. So I'd love to know, does the business now look like what you had imagined in those early days, or how has that vision changed over time?
The goal is to open other locations, but it changed from our original plan because we never thought about catering for large companies. Like Paycom is our biggest client. We cater for them up to 5 times a month. Not every single order is big, but at least two of them are like 1,500 orders of tacos or enchiladas or something like that. It has given us the experience to manage large volume and be ready for that. But it wasn't in our original plan. So it's not only the restaurant or the food truck. We also manage like that type of a catering or catering with the food truck for events, for corporate events or weddings and stuff like that. So from our original plan, it went to many different revenue channels. I mean, it wasn't part of the plan, but here we are. Yes.
I love hearing about everything, Pilar. Kind of transitioning to the accelerator. Would love to know what made you apply for the Latino Accelerator in the first place.
I knew that we had the experience in working as restaurant owners, I mean, for restaurants, but we didn't have the experience on the admin side. And my idea applying for this program is was like I will learn something. I don't know what I'm going to learn, but I am sure it's gonna help me, and it did. It gave me a lot of insight of from things that I didn't think about before. You guys brought a lot of great speakers. Like I mentioned this before, Naoma Serna on marketing. She answered. I think that class was for me because I was the one like asking so many questions, and that's just one of many that always brought something to the table that maybe not everything applied for my business, but it did help at least with something.
I would love to kind of touch back about Naoma with Nuevo Studios. I would love to know if there was anything in particular, like biggest takeaway from that conversation, and how you applied it to Taco Empire.
So at the beginning, it was more personal, the branding for from our business, because it was a lot of family and friends who that were supporting us. But over the time, especially because our plan is to keep growing, like you don't want to have that much exposure. So she talked about like knowing what you want. Like, do you want to be known as the face of your business, or do you just want to like people will know that it's yours, but it's not because you're necessarily there, like saying, "Hey, this is mine." I think that helped me very much because we do put ourselves into the business, and you'll see some of the social media where you see Carlos or I doing maybe a post or whatever, not as often. For people to know that it's a family owned business, it's a local business. I take this as a compliment. A lot of people will think that we are a chain restaurant because there's so many things that look like it. To me, it's a compliment because I think we're doing things good. But at the same time, I'm like, no, like I do want to be recognized as a Oklahoma business. We both want to be recognized as a family owned business. So that's one of the things that she gave me the most insight about, like, okay, yeah, let's be part of the business and our faces will be there too, but not as much. We're not Pilar and Carlos Taco Empire.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the heart of the business. And another thing I really love that you guys do on your socials is that you also highlight the team too. This is
Mhm.
a family-owned business, but also like your team is so much a part of your social plan as well. So I'd love to know what role the team and the community has helped in you reaching this growth.
That's one of our values is teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. And we wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for them. We wouldn't be making 1,500 orders of tacos, which is like 4,500 tacos by 10 a.m. on a Friday for Paycom. If it wasn't for the team that we have, we really try to let them know how important they are. We are all part of a whole that it's working to make everything work because it's not only our business, it's also their business is how everybody makes their money. And then in the community, if it wasn't for the support that we got from the beginning, from our family, friends, like you guys and other people who were like supporting this small business, who people saw it has a little bit of potential, um, we wouldn't be growing as fast as we are. That's why we always try to be consistent on everything. So we're not just like, oh yeah, we're popular right now, but later we won't because we started lowering our standards. It's not what we want to be. We so it's just part of a process to continue to be like that, to offer what we want to offer. And our team is who is there helping us to deliver all of these values that we have.
You can definitely tell in your messaging. And I think an important thing that you've mentioned is just like being able to plan these things out so that way, you can grow consistently and grow how you want to grow versus having everything grow for you or in a way that maybe you weren't hoping it would.
Hmm.
But also with a lot of this growth, I'd love to know if it's changed the way you kind of approach community engagement, or if it's even created new opportunities to give back in creative ways. I know you guys are in a lot of different locations, as you mentioned. Kind of the catering aspect came up that maybe you hadn't thought of before, but I'd love to know how you approach it now.
The more we grow and the more time that we have for ourselves, and also not only for ourselves, but also to start sharing a little bit of what we got right now has changed. I don't think we have done as much as I would like to, but I do see Taco Empire being able to support a big cause, and how we approach others or new communities is just like we haven't done much of a different thing right now. We still like working on what we are doing right now, just make it better.
But I'll push back a little bit and say I know I've seen you guys. You won an award at one of the food. I'm trying
Oh
to remember
yeah.
and then you were also highlighted as a curbside hot locations as well. So I love seeing your name in maybe different places as well. So I think giving back can mean a lot of different things too. And I think you guys are. I love seeing you guys in different locations.
Thank you, Gabby. That's one of the things. Like, we have been highlighted in many occasions by many different organizations, and I'm very proud of it. I guess we're kind of humble about that. It's something we should be bragging about. On DoorDash, we are, I don't know, we're allowed to mention brands, but I see like all my metrics, and we are like the most popular tacos in all Oklahoma. I haven't said that to anyone, but I know we are. And it's because they send me all this like, oh, you are the most popular taqueria in Oklahoma. Of I don't know how many are here in Oklahoma, but I'm sure there's many. So that makes me feel very proud, and I can see that on our sales. Another thing is that last year we got a sign from Yelp that we were, I don't know if it was the best tacos or something, but we were highlighted on Yelp as well. We won at Artini Best Food because people really like our tacos as well. And there being other, like, we were recently nominated the Gazette for Best Tacos. We don't know if we won yet. I hope we did. And little things like that, I mean, it's just one confirmation of the things that we are doing. Everything is resulting in good things, positive things, and we're just very proud about all of this.
Proud of you guys and all the growth that you've had. And as Jay mentioned earlier, due to the hard work, the heart that you guys put into your business. And so we're always happy to brag on your behalf if you need us to.
If you don't want to, Pilar, we will.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey guys,
Yeah,
this is what we
yeah.
got this year. Can you do it for us, please? Just yeah. And I should brag about, because then it's just a confirmation for those who haven't tried us yet, or who, you know, like, who haven't given us an opportunity, like, oh, they might be good. Like, they really might be good. It's just not because people that I know recommended her, just because I know her or she knows her or whatever.
Right.
Absolutely. And then the other thing I will say too is I want to brag in a different way too. Again, giving back is can come in many forms, and I know I see you, especially in the entrepreneurial community, sharing a lot of opportunities and with groups and kind of opening up different communities too. So I think that's a special way to give back too. I think a lot of the times, especially as entrepreneurs, we stay kind of, in our lane, or, head down, focus on the business. So also we'll brag on how you've continued to share resources and community with other entrepreneurs.
Thank you. Yeah, there was a little program. I don't know if I can call it a program, but a few friends of mine, they're all very good at what they do. We are a group of women that know and understand each other. Like, not only that we deal with all of our stuff, but we are also moms. We have to deal with work and home and everything, children. And a lot of people, I feel, and at least in our community, is conditioned to be like, oh, it's because I'm the mom and I don't have the right, or I have to be at home and take care of the kids. So we wanted to change a little bit of that mindset and share from our experience what we have done, some of the things that have worked for us, and a little bit of that information. Like, we are not experts, we're just sharing our experiences and our own stories. And we are not doing that right now because we were like overwhelmed with our own work. We put it on a stop by, but we are working on getting back to start doing that, because the women that came, they're asking like, when are you guys coming back to do that? When are we getting together again? Because it was like their safe space, where they can also get to know new people that help them and stuff like that. It's just a little community that we created, and we just wanted to share with them.
Having a community is so important, and especially like you said, as a woman, as a women business owner, as a mom, and taking away that stigma, talking with your ladies about how we can do anything that we want to do is always so powerful. So I'm not surprised that you are like leading a group of women. That's so awesome. I would love to know, what did hitting the $1 million milestone mean for you personally, beyond the numbers?
It was unreal. It's a hard question because we don't measure our success by numbers only. So whenever we hit that, it was like, yeah, like mini Pilar inside of me was like, oh, wow, I never thought that I was going to be able to do this. But then looking back at the present, like if your goal is to open this many locations, if you have done this from a food truck and then a brick and mortar in this little amount of time, like what were you expecting? Like that was going to happen anytime, right? We are very proud about it. But I think our success comes from many other aspects, not only that. And that's just a confirmation of what we are doing and what we need to continue to do to keep growing and just going after our next goal. But yeah, I guess to answer your question, it did feel great just to be like, oh wow, I that number, you know. But it's just way more than that.
Piggybacking off of that, are there other milestones or goals that you had felt were just as significant as hitting the $1 million in revenue?
To me, getting Paycom as our client, especially because we had opened a brick and mortar like probably 4 months before that, and they came to us. We didn't look for them. We didn't have any contact that will say, "Hey, can you please get me in their vendor list?" No, they came to us because a lot of their clients, I mean, their workers will come for lunch, and then one of those people was very important and say, "Hey, you need to bring Taco Empire." We are one of those people who doesn't know how to say no to anything. And we were like, yeah, we can do it. Can you make over 1,000 orders? Yeah, we can do it. And that's how we started doing it. And not only that, we've been with Paycom a little bit over a year and a half, I think. To me, that's a big milestone that we have continued to deliver what they're expecting. We continue to have them as a client. And then, the other achievements like winning an Artini, that is just a confirmation. And that to me, it's more important than just the sales. Like what we are doing and what we try to sell from the beginning is staying consistently. And is what we want to continue to do, even though we have one or 10 or only 5 locations, as many, we want to offer the same thing at every single one.
You guys are so consistent, and obviously, it's not only being seen by us, but Paycom, by the community. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Would love to know what advice you would give to other founders who are starting out or maybe working towards their first $1 million.
I wish I had gotten together with other people what I was doing before. I mean, before we opened, before we even launched the food truck, just to see. Because Carlos did it. Like he on his own, like got a friend who had a food truck and everything. But him and I, we both work as a team, and he takes care of some things and I take care of other things. The experience that I had on my own was from my previous business, but I wish I got together with somebody else that was in maybe the same industry, but on the administration side, like all of the things that I need to make sure that I have, marketing, what works, what doesn't, everything has to work organically for us. But if I feel that if I had a plan, or if I at least had some sort of guidance, will it be easier? So my advice is just to prepare yourself as much as you can, get any resources from anyone, or if you admire somebody, just reach out them, even on Instagram, even if you don't know them, like just reach out and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want to do. This is where I am right now. I see that you are successful at doing all of this, and I would like to learn. Can you talk to me for a minute? Can you answer a few questions? I think anything helps, but it has to be something that you have to be willing to work for. Like you have to put yourself into that situation where you are trying to get those resources because nothing will come to you.
So important. And yeah, just creating that community of resources and other founders or
Hmm.
yeah, I think is so important. So thank you for mentioning that. And thank you for being someone like that in our community as well. Always willing to share resources and give back to others as well. So we kind of talked about the early days and kind of the build up towards this milestone, but I'd love to know what is the next big goal for Taco Empire?
Our next goal is to open a second location because we are making miracles in that little kitchen that we have. And it's not sustainable because there's also another project coming up for 2026. So definitely opening a second location with a bigger kitchen is our main goal at the moment. We're also working on being able to create the systems and processes for the current restaurant so we can continue to open other locations and just be able to replicate.
How do you want people to describe Taco Empire 5 years from now?
I want them to describe it as the best taqueria in Oklahoma, known for its authentic flavor and quality service. And I know we will be known for being the best taqueria in Oklahoma.
Love it, putting it out there. My last question for you would just be how can people find you? Where are you located? Where can people find the food truck or the location to go and try some of this amazing food? Or even on
Okay.
social.
We are our brick and mortar is on 122nd and Rockwell. We're like right in front of Homeland. People can follow us on social media, Taco Empire OKC, or go to our website, tacoempireokc.com, so they can hire our food truck. We used to have a permanent location. We are doing so many events right now that we're just trying to focus on just working for private events or festivals or coming to neighborhoods. So if you are interested in bringing Taco Empire to your neighborhood, please reach out. Just go to our website, fill in the contact info, and then we'll reach out so we can come to visit you and you will be able to try us.
Pilar's story is such a powerful reminder that building a business not only takes determination, but it also takes community. We're so proud to highlight founders like her and others to show what's possible when entrepreneurs get the support that they need to grow. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more ways we're supporting founders with resources, programs, and a community that proves that nobody builds companies alone.